everyone, today's Saturday the 25th of January and it is currently 11:45, and to celebrate the publication of Onyx Storm, I thought I would do a 24-hour readathon of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing because I kind of forgot what happened and I want to go into Onyx Storm remembering. I have all 3 books right here, and I also have Fourth Wing and Iron Flame on my Kindle and audiobook because I do have some things I need to do today and I will listen to an audiobook. I do plan on doing like 24 hours straight timer method. Anytime I stop reading, I'm going to stop my timer for like necessary things like cooking dinner, things like that if I fall asleep. But I don't want to take a break tonight unless I absolutely have to. I want to read for 24 hours straight. But I'm also going to do the timer method so that I know how long I have left. I mean, until tomorrow, but I will like knowing better. So yeah, I have it on my Kindle and audiobook. And I have the physical copies in case I want to start reading those, picking them up. But I just got my copy of Onyx Storm yesterday, and I can't believe how pretty it is. I did not know it would come with sprayed edges. And look at that map. I pre-ordered mine from Amazon, so I did not get the one with pictures, but I'm still really happy. I didn't even know that there was a Target special edition, but I don't have a Target near me, so I wouldn't have been able to get one anyway, and I already had one pre-ordered anyway, so. But yeah, that's my plans for today. 24 hours, and I'm gonna start my timer. I'm gonna make my timer. All right, I have my timer ready, and I'm just gonna get into it and catch up. I've read Fourth Wing before and Iron Flame, but I forgot what happened because there's so much to get through, and it's been a while since Iron Flame came out, so I'm going to catch up on everything from the first two books and go into Onyx Storm with all the information fresh in my mind. I'm not sure how much I can get through. The goal, of course, is to get through Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but we will see. I bet I could get through Fourth Wing at least in 24 hours, but Iron Flame is thick and hefty, so we will see. It's also 600 pages, Iron Flame. Fourth Wing is 500 pages, and Onyx Storm is 500 again. So a lot of reading to get through. I do, hopefully, if I can be a speedy reader, want to get through Onyx Storm too, but we will see. Audiobooks definitely take more time than reading, but I don't have the patience to sit and read a physical copy or a Kindle for 24 hours. I'm gonna need to take audiobook breaks because I just can't focus that long. I have things I need to do. I am going to hurry up and get started. I'm gonna start at 12, so it's 11:51, and I'm gonna start at 12, but I'm really excited. I've never done this before. I'm feeling hopeful. I know it'll probably get difficult at night, but I think it'll be really fun. I don't have anything to do today or tomorrow, just some housework. I thought it would be the perfect day to try and complete this challenge, and I'm in my comfy clothes, which is a necessity, I feel like, for 24 hours of reading. And you might notice I'm getting off topic, but I got hair tinsel put in yesterday, actually, and I just think it's so cool and so fun for Valentine's Day, and I love it. You also might be wondering why is there a door right here? My chair is right here because the TV is over there, and I have to face the camera like this because otherwise it's too dark if I face it differently. So that's why I'm gonna see how far I get. I think that's all I have to say for the moment. So when it hits 12, I'm going to start my timer and get this challenge started and update throughout the day and how I'm feeling. If I'm going to be honest, I hardly remember. I remember the main plot points of Fourth Wing, but there are a lot of things I definitely missed. So I'm going to update throughout and talk to you later.
Recorded Books presents
About 20 hours left, and I am about 30% of the way through Fourth Wing, almost 200 pages in, and I thought I would be farther in by now, but I have been listening to the audiobook for a while, so that's probably why. I forgot how good this book is, but I don't like one of the main characters for good reason, but that you find out later in the book. It's not a surprise like it was the first time to read it, which is typical because this is a reread, but I don't think anything beats reading a book the first time and you get all the surprises and everything. But it is getting a little bit later. It's 4 o'clock. The sun's setting, so I wanted to update before it got too dark. But I'm going to keep reading. I've been alternating between the audiobook and reading, but I'm gonna keep doing that. Hopefully try to get through this. But so far I'm having a lot of fun. I don't usually spend a lot of time reading at once, so this is nice to just be able to read, and I'm having a lot of fun so far. We'll see how I feel in a couple more hours, but so far feeling great. Excited to read what happens next. I especially don't remember a lot of Iron Flame, so I'm excited to get into that one and see what happens. But I still have all night to keep reading, so if I want to get through 24 hours, I'm gonna need to keep working on it. I'm about 17% of the way through the 24-hour reading challenge. I am feeling the teeniest bit tired because I do think reading can make me tired, and I wonder how that is going to affect me later tonight, but I'm hopeful it'll work out. Might have to caffeinate. It is much later. It's actually 9:30 and I am 9:30. It's about 16 hours and 20 minutes into left of my challenge. So quite a ways to go still, but I am about a third of the way through the challenge, but I did take a couple of short breaks. And so now I am not as far as I should be in the challenge, so I need to quit taking breaks. But as you can tell, I am in my pajamas. I just showered because it is 9:30 and I want to be comfy, but I do know that changing into my pajamas is not gonna help me stay awake, so we will see. I definitely want to bake some cookies tonight to try and keep myself awake and keep listening to the audiobook, keep reading. I am about 64% of the way through Fourth Wing, and I'm also, that is 323 pages in. I'm on chapter 26. And I honestly like it better the second time I'm reading it because I understand what's happening a lot better. I think the first time I read Fourth Wing, I was a little confused because of all the plot points and the setting and stuff like that. The world building. So now that I'm rereading it, I feel like I'm having a better sense of the world. So I'm enjoying it a lot more because I don't have to focus so hard on all the different world building stuff, if that makes sense. I'm still going strong, not too tired yet or tired of reading. I do want to, at some point, read for a while. I did read for a couple hours, but I want to finish Fourth Wing and move on to the next one. I feel like Fourth Wing is much better than Iron Flame, but we'll see how I feel after I finish both of them. But at the moment, I'm really liking Fourth Wing. I love the plot. I think it's really interesting and pretty unique for what I've read in terms of like the dragons and their like schooling. It's pretty interesting. So I do really like reading this book. But I do remember when I read Iron Flame the first time, I wasn't that invested in the story and I kept getting distracted. So I'm curious to see if rereading it will make me more interested in it or less. If I'll have an even harder time focusing on it. But I'm going to keep reading because I have quite a few hours, lots left of this book to read. So I need to just get on to it. So the last time I updated you, it was last night. And the plan was to read throughout the whole night, 24 hours straight. Well, that was a complete fail, to be honest. I was doing great, and then I started getting really sleepy, and my mistake was I was so tired. So I decided to lay down and read. Well, you can guess how that ended. I fell asleep at 1 a.m. and that made me sleep in, and then I decided to get ready this morning, and I should have been listening to an audiobook, but I wasn't. So now it's the next day, it's noon, and I have 13 hours and 21 minutes left on my timer. So I'm gonna try again today to read for 24 hours. Yeah, I really thought I could push through all night, but clearly I can't. But I am almost done reading Fourth Wing. I am on chapter 36, 89% of the way through. That is page 451. So here's where I'm at. This is what I have left. So I'm almost done reading Fourth Wing. But I do remember that I don't really like the ending of Fourth Wing too much. There's not much you can do about that. So I'm not looking forward to finishing the book. But I do plan on baking cookies today, listening to the audiobook, reading. I think I might just sit down and finish reading Fourth Wing so that I can start Iron Flame. Just try to complete this challenge today. In a perfect world, if I had read for 24 hours straight, I would be done already, but I have another full day to go. I definitely underestimated how hard it would be to read throughout the night, but I shouldn't have because I'm a sleepy girl and I'm in bed by 10 p.m. So I should have known how hard trying to stay up all night would be. I never told you what Fourth Wing is about. If you've never heard of the book or read it, it is about Violet Sorrengail. She enters the Writers Quadrant at Basgiath War College, which is like they are training to be dragon riders, and her mom is like the general, makes her join, and a lot of people hate her because of her mom. And there's also a war outside the kingdom's protective wards, and it's getting bigger and worse, and basically Fourth Wing is mainly about Violet's experience at the war college and training. For the most part, that's like the majority of the book. What it takes to like get a dragon and all the steps. So I think this one is really interesting and just a good plot. The only thing that I would kind of critique about this book is that Violet is described so often as being like frail and fragile and small. And I think that the author should have went into like a little bit more on why. We can assume it's because her mother was sick when she was pregnant with Violet. Or at least like a little bit more on like how tall she is, because it's kind of like beaten into you, like a little bit overdone throughout the book, like how small she is, how frail, but this book definitely sets up a lot for the next book about what's gonna happen based on like the war, but I do like that this one really went into depth about what it takes to be a dragon rider. But there is this one character in this book that you think you have finally seen the last of him, and then he's back in the next book, and I hate that plot point, if I'm being honest. I don't know, I just really don't like that character, so I'm not excited to read Iron Flame and have that plot point right back again. I'm almost done reading Fourth Wing, and then gonna get started on Iron Flame. I have definitely a little bit less excitement for this challenge at the moment because I didn't hate Iron Flame. I did like it, but I love Fourth Wing, and Iron Flame I just like. So it's hard to be as excited going into it again, but who knows, maybe a reread will make me like it even more. I should keep an open mind. I'm trying to at least, but it can be a little difficult. 13 hours and 21 minutes left on my timer. It's 12:23, so I should hurry up and finish Fourth Wing and get started in Iron Flame. I do feel like my brain is a little bit fried today. Super tired. Not sure how good my concentration will be today, but I think I'm gonna get started and check in later. I've done a terrible job updating today. It's 9:37. I still haven't completed 24 hours reading. Shocker. But I'm back in my PJs, ready to keep reading. And let me show you how much I have left. I have 6 hours and 37 minutes left. I did accidentally close the timer, so I had to start a new one. So somehow, I don't know how, I didn't think I paused the timer that often, but I guess I did because I still have 6.5 hours left. So I must have been taking more breaks than I realized. I think a challenge like this really helps you like realize how fast time goes and how hard it can be to get some reading time in. But I did actually finish Fourth Wing, and I'm 31% of the way through Iron Flame. I'm on chapter 20, which is page 188. So I did get about a third of the way through Iron Flame so far. If I keep reading, hopefully I can get through the entirety of Iron Flame. I'm not sure. I will have to speed things up if I want to get it done in 6.5 hours. This reread is definitely not making me like the book even more than the first time I read it. A big plot point of this one is about like trust and how Violet doesn't trust her friendships anymore, and it's just not my favorite plot point. I think it kind of is sad in a way to have her make all these relationships and then them not be the same in the second book. So in this one, Violet is in her second year at the War College, and there is a new person in charge, and he has it out for Violet, and she also knows a major secret that could put a lot of people in danger. So she has, but also keep a lot of people safe in the long run. So she's keeping this giant secret, and she just can't really trust anyone with it. So it's kind of wrecking all her relationships. And she's just going through her second year. But I did make some gingerbread cookies, some Valentine's Day shapes, and listen to the audiobook. If tonight is like last night, I will probably fall asleep and have to pick up this challenge again tomorrow, which is definitely not what I wanted to do at all. But I am hopeful to try and change my strategy a little bit and go to bed earlier and then wake up early and just get started reading instead of sleeping in and starting the challenge at noon. So that's my plan for tomorrow, and then I'll hopefully finish Iron Flame, finish the challenge, and wrap up my thoughts. And then I might continue this like vlog with Onyx Storm. It's hard for me to like focus because I'm so excited to read Onyx Storm. I do think that Iron Flame is just a little frustrating because of Violet's extreme mistrust of everyone. I didn't like that the first time I read it, and it's not my favorite now. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's not unbelievable or like a bad plot point. It's just not one of my favorites. I mean, not every book is gonna be your favorite, but I do think the series overall is so good that even though I don't like this book the most, I will keep reading the series, and I am still really excited for the series and future books. So that's just what my thoughts are. I think Fourth Wing will always be my favorite, but after I finish Onyx Storm, who knows where my rankings will fall. I can't remember the last time I updated, but it's been a while. To be honest, I kind of not given up, but not made this challenge a priority anymore. So it's Monday, January 27th, 4:42. I have 3 hours and 24 minutes left on my timer. I'm 55% of the way through Iron Flame, which is 342 pages in. So I'm not sure if I can finish Iron Flame in the next 3.5 hours, but I'm going to try and get this done today. I'm also in my PJs already, which is a little early for me, but I'm ready to lock in. Finish reading. I've got my chai, my cute little drink, my cute little cup. I'm in my comfy chair. I have everything I need to try and finish this challenge once and for all. And hurry up and get into Onyx Storm already, because I am getting impatient with myself. So, that's my plans. And that's what I'm going to try and do tonight. I will say there's a lot of exciting parts in Iron Flame that I did not remember. It's making me like the book a lot more, which I didn't think I would say. All the exciting plot points that I forgot and things that happened were really interesting and exciting to read about. Have a better opinion of Iron Flame at the moment, but I'm gonna see how I feel at the end of the book. I did do some work today, and I have been reading throughout the day on and off, but that's why I haven't been really trying my hardest on this challenge. I want to get this done with. I want to start editing this vlog, and I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like to edit a vlog unless I've finished filming for it. So also the sun is kind of in my eyes right here, but I wanted to get make the most of the last little bits of sunlight before it gets dark, and I have to go sit in front of the lamp. So that's why I'm sitting with the sun in my eyes. It is definitely really hard for me to sit and read for a long time, and I tend to get easily distracted. So an audiobook is kind of easier for me to get a lot of reading done. I focus better when I'm reading. That is what I'm going to do, and hopefully I finish the challenge by tonight. I seriously hope so. After many days and honestly forgetting about the challenge and just life, it is a couple of days since I last updated on my Fourth Wing and Iron Flame reread, but I am happy to say I finally finished reading both. Here they are. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. Granted, I didn't successfully complete a 24-hour reading challenge, but I didn't think it would take quite so long to reread both. But now that I have, I'm gonna jump into Onyx Storm and and you'll see it in a different video, but finally finished reading these two. I do have some thoughts on Iron Flame that I haven't, some new thoughts. I actually really liked Iron Flame this time a lot more than the first time I read it. And the first time I read it, I just wasn't really invested in the story, and I kind of thought Violet seemed a little whiny the first time I read Iron Flame. But rereading it, I feel like I get her character a lot more. So I actually really liked it this time around. And yeah, I like the characters a lot more and the plot points. I do think Iron Flame is just a tad bit long for the last 15% to have so much shoved in there, it seems. It just feels like we spend a lot of Iron Flame preparing for the last 10%, 15% of the book, which is not my favorite thing when books do that, because I mean there's only so much you can write about in a big event like that, but it's just not my favorite when the last 10% of a book is the biggest thing that the book was gearing up towards, if that makes sense. And I feel like Iron Flame was doing that. I totally forgot it did that, so when I got to 85% of the way through, I was like, how are we gonna read this huge thing that's gonna happen in 15% of a book? So that's just what I think. I thought it could use a little bit longer time. I think that, especially since so many shocking things happen right at the end, that I think it needed a little bit more to give more information. But hopefully we get the stuff I want to know more about in Onyx Storm. Otherwise, I don't want to wait for another book. I mean, I think I heard that Fourth Wing is a 6-book series going to be, but I really don't want Onyx Storm to end on a cliffhanger like Iron Flame did. I liked how Fourth Wing ended. There was more to come, but it didn't feel like a major cliffhanger like Iron Flame does. I don't really know if I have anything more to say. I am honestly just trying to kind of finish this video since I want to get it up, and it's been forever since I last updated. I do think if you haven't read Fourth Wing in a long time, I would reread it before Onyx Storm, because there is a ton of stuff going on, and I forgot so many character dynamics. I honestly forgot a lot of the characters' names and their relationship to each other, so the reread was a good idea because of how much I forgot. And it has made me more excited for Onyx Storm, and I am gonna pick that up today because I can finally start reading it since I finished my rereads and I failed my 24-hour readathon challenge. I think I'm gonna end it here, and if you stay this long, thanks for watching, and I think I'll see you real soon to update on my thoughts on Onyx Storm. I will catch you later. Bye.